ups to the Fly Girl Committee. They might take a trip to your city. Fly girls and you know they all pretty. Experience life to the fullest, even when the shit gets hard. But we still know these girls going far. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Fly Girl Committee. I know it's been a minute. We've been busy, so
traveling.
you know it's nice to be back with the girls for Wine Down Wednesday. This time we are drinking this wine called Lemonade Stand. Never had it before. It's a lemonade Moscato. I actually got it from this gas station literally around the corner, and it was only $7 for the bottle. So shout out to Lemonade Stand on their lemonade Moscato.
That was good.
So you know we love our wine. But yeah, you know, it's your girl Shannon. We got Joanna and BB.
Hey.
We missing Kim today, so shout out to Kim. We'll have to catch her on the next episode. But we got a lot to talk about. It's been a busy last couple months since we recorded the first episode.
Yeah.
We kind of spoke it into existence because we were talking about the storms. And then I end up getting deployed to Guam for a whole damn month. I'm like, damn, we really like...
The pictures were really nice though.
Yeah. You know what? I will have to say, it was definitely a good experience career-wise because we don't typically do international deployments. So being like selected one or two adjusters out of like 60 that could have went, that was like, you know, a big deal. But honestly, like being on that island, I'm just like, I don't see how people could do this. It was hot and humid.
Really?
I just wanted to sleep in my own bed. The food wasn't that good. I mean, I was bored. I really was bored. The time difference, it was a 15-hour time difference. So like trying to
15 hours?
contact y'all, it was weird. Like I would be up. I never adjusted to the time. So I was up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, Guam time. When it's like the afternoon here, Cleveland time, trying to call and text people. And
we were talking and we were like a whole 24 hours apart.
yeah, when you were in Alaska, I'm like, what the heck?
So hard.
So yeah, that, you know, it was nice though. Overall, you know, definitely nice to add that to the resume. Definitely ran up a little bag, so I'm happy about that. You know, we love our money because we love to spend it. Spend it, check it, get it right back.
In the food. Like
yeah,
that break
the
hurts
food.
my
Yes.
heart. I keep hearing that a lot about these little islands like Bora Bora, Hawaii. Like I keep hearing a lot about it, but I don't have no interest in going to those places, so I never go.
I will say Hawaii to me was just like regular food. You know, they eat a lot of spam. They eat a lot of spam in Guam
I love
too.
spam.
I don't do
That's
canned
my
meat.
favorite food.
You can literally go to McDonald's and their traditional breakfast in Hawaii is spam, rice, and scrambled eggs. Like that's what is
That's
on
like
their
one of my
that's
favorite
that's
meals,
one of
too.
their meals.
Yeah.
And I just can't get with the spam. I'm sorry. They eat a lot of spam in Guam. I will say, in their defense, because they didn't have water and power for weeks, a lot of the restaurants had to cut back on some of their menu options because of the water. They had the boil water effect. So, but I did find like a really good place where this ironically a Jamaican place that had like really good food. I ended up getting eating a lot of oh my god, just memory. Damn, what the hell was I eating? The ramen. I was eating that a lot or whatever. I had found a little place in the cut, and that was like my go-to place. In California Pizza Kitchen, I stayed there. That was like 5 minutes away from the hotel, so easy to access, and the food was decent. So yeah, it wasn't nothing. I couldn't wait to get home and just get some regular food. Like I was disappointed. Yeah.
So in your opinion, it might be a good place to travel to for maybe like a couples trip, a more romantic trip for people who don't have a passport maybe?
No, because for Hawaii
for Guam.
So you actually, it's U.S. territory, but you have to have a passport. Well,
you have to have a passport?
Yes and no. So here's the thing. You can get to Guam I went Jersey, Tokyo, Guam. You can
you gotta go through them other countries.
You can go through Hawaii. However, the only caveat with that is if for some reason there was an issue with your flight and you couldn't get a flight back through Hawaii, you pretty much stuck because the only other way is to go through Tokyo.
Right.
So
And that kind of sucks because that flight in itself would be extremely expensive.
Yeah, the flight.
That's good to know. I would have never thought that if you were going to, because that particular
'Cause it's US
territory
territory,
is
yeah.
in international waters. I actually never thought to look into if they need. I automatically assumed they wouldn't, but they would because they would have to travel internationally to get
I
there.
think online.
That makes a lot
I think
of
if you
sense.
go like on the US.gov or something, I think it actually does say on there that you need a passport. I know like my company, that was one of the stipulations when they were considering who they wanted to send. They
And our girl
required.
got the passport.
I was like, you know, I got
stamps.
some stamps, baby. Book my flight, but it was nice. The whole overall experience, like they flew us business class.
Yes.
I felt like so like the luxury. I'm like, this is how I should be living. This is how I should be flying all the time. Like the whole little seat that lets back into your
And let you
own
lay
private
down.
little bed.
I love that.
It was nice. They come in and they serving you meals and like good food too. Like not just like crackers or chips or stuff. Like I mean, I had
What was the
short
airline?
ribs. United.
United? Okay.
Yeah, United did a thing, the whole United Club. I was like, this is really like you could really see the
I like
perks.
United.
You know, it was
They
real
just don't.
nice.
They're just so expensive too.
They are
Yeah.
expensive.
It's really hard to get perks with them because they're already so expensive.
But I
they
racked
are
up
a
some
great.
miles.
They are a great airline.
with that round trip.
Just
I
in
mean, I
itself.
got bumped up from like whatever their basic entry level status is. I got bumped up to gold just from that one trip. So I was
Nice.
like, so now I'm gonna probably just try to book with them more often to
Okay.
keep that status because it's a lot of perks,
A
like
lot of
free
perks,
check bags. You can get the the premium seats, not first class, but the seats that
The
are a
wider
little bit bigger
seats.
with a little more leg
Yeah.
room. So yeah, I was like, that's so.
Okay,
Overall,
girl,
it was
I'm glad
nice.
you liked it.
I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad
I'm
I'm
really
home.
just waiting
I
for
missed
you.
y'all.
Like, I know all about it but I never thought maybe you weren't gonna get the best quality food because of the storm and stuff. Because I kept thinking I want to know about the food, about the people, about the beaches, like
Honestly,
what you do, no clubs.
It's really kind of boring. The whole island you can drive in an hour. It's a super, super tiny island. I don't even think I would personally really recommend it for like tourists because I feel that it's not really much you can do there. And considering how long you have to travel to get there, it's plenty of other places that you can get to way quicker than spending 20 hours flying just to get to this tiny island to be
20
bored.
Hours?
Okay.
Woo.
Yeah,
That
and
is a
really,
lot.
because they have such a large military base, it's the only reason that we went out there because we have, our company is established on military members. So we went out there because they were affected with the typhoon. They had a lot of flooding in their houses because the houses themselves can withstand the storm. Like they had up to 200-mile-per-hour winds. Nothing was no damage to the houses. Like you would have been like, the houses looked totally fine. But the water, it was the rain-driven water that was coming in under the doors, through the windows, and it was causing a lot of flooding. And then, of course, not having power, all this mold. So that's where primarily all the damage came from. But, I mean, it was definitely an experience. Will I ever go back? Probably not.
That sounds like I don't even want to go.
And I always heard they always have beautiful beaches.
I mean, considering that they had just had that major storm, I felt like the water was still, it was some of the clearest water I've ever seen. But just considering how much it costs, like even a non-business class flight could end up being like in the upwards of 4,000 round trip. It's really not worth it.
And you ain't got nothing there, like nothing. Oh,
Right.
no.
It's really
I wouldn't
nothing.
recommend that then. I'm gonna have to take that off my no passport list.
Yeah. I would not.
And you need a passport, I wouldn't recommend it to no one.
If
I
I
would
would
just keep on
honestly,
saying
I feel
Puerto
like
Rico.
I was gonna say Puerto Rico probably the best place really to go when you
Or the Virgin
know,
Islands. The Virgin
I like the
Islands
Virgin
are
Islands.
always nice too.
That's true.
There's only like one all inclusive on each island. They don't have a lot going for people on a budget. But what I've learned in my experience, because I plan on doing Cancun next month or in September, and we're not doing an all inclusive. Because what I've learned is you're paying these countries are so cheap to eat. It's so cheap
Mm,
to eat in
yeah.
these countries, and so you're paying more
For them to
for the
feed you.
all inclusive than you
Mhm.
would another luxury resort. And I'm the type of person that I leave the resort. I want to go eat at the restaurants.
wanna be in the
anyways.
local,
I want to
yeah.
go to the bars. I want to go to the clubs. I want to do all that. So this year I'm gonna do it where we go to a luxury hotel that's not 5-star, and it's still about $1,000 less than a normal Cancun resort I would do. And
Okay.
I'm gonna just do my regular eat. I just told my wife that the only thing is probably that I'd spend more money in alcohol because that's the one thing I really do at the all inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a big drinker, but I do like the food aspect because I'm a sampler type of person. Like, I just want like a little bit of everything. So it just works best for me than having to order like a meal. You know, like I love family style restaurants because if we just order a bunch of stuff and just share, like that's like, cause I just don't
I'm
be
just
having a
too
taste
picky.
for one particular thing.
I think I've just gotten way too picky because I feel like all of those all inclusives, because they're catering to such a large amount of people,
Yeah.
the food
quality,
is so
throwing the food out.
Americanized.
It
a
is,
lot of the
yeah.
food is
is.
Americanized. Like we went to Cancun for my bachelorette and we stayed at a resort that had different types of restaurants, but it was still included in the all inclusive. You just had to make reservations, and the
Right.
food was just blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you see
I
that a
feel
lot.
like the quality goes down at these all inclusives, and it's not, no shade to them. It's just because they're trying to serve it at a higher quantity, and the
Right, when
quality
they have to
goes
mass
down.
produce to try to feed thousands
Yeah.
and thousands of people.
Yeah.
It's not the
And you
same.
not, unless you leave the resort, I would say the only exception to that, to me personally, is Jamaica. That's like the one place where they still had traditional Jamaican meals there, not
See, I would like that
not
better.
as authentic as just going to a separate place off the resort, but you could still get oxtails, you could still get jerk chicken, you could still get curry chicken. But when I went to Punta Cana, I felt like it was just basically
I
it
hated
was
the
like
food there.
going to fucking
I hated the food there.
damn, what's the damn buffet?
Golden
Golden
Corral?
Corral
Yeah.
or something. That's what it
I
seemed
hated
like.
the food there. We had to
Yeah.
have like our taxi driver take us to like a local place. But in Mexico, I feel like the best food I've ever had was in Tijuana and Tulum. The two places that don't have all inclusive.
Right.
Like I ate so good in these cities,
Yeah.
and it's because
It
I'm
wasn't
not eating at the
all-inclusive,
all
yeah.
inclusive. So I'm
That's a
gonna
good
try
point.
it this
If
time
you
again.
that's a good point, y'all. If you are looking for true authentic food or whatever
Or
country
the
that
vibe,
you're visiting,
leave your hotel.
yeah, you're probably
The
not
all
gonna get that at the
inclusive is
hotel.
enticing. It is, and those hotels. Don't get me wrong. If you're somebody that's afraid of traveling, afraid of like the danger, the
Right.
violence, stay at your resort because they're gonna do everything possible to make sure you have a good time. They be
Right.
having those live shows, like
They do
balloon
cater
parties,
to the
phone
people.
parties. They cater to you,
Yeah.
and everything's free. Just personally, for me, I'd rather get into the culture.
Right.
Mhm.
If you're a
That's what I like
foodie,
to do,
it's
too.
probably not the best option. Now, for alcohol purposes, absolutely.
Hell yeah, because you
You know,
want to
'cause-
walk in, get
yeah.
a drink,
Right.
drink the whole time you're there. I'm a drinker,
Right.
so I'm gonna drink the
And
whole
see,
time.
I'm not.
time.
So the food is important to me. I want to make sure I have some good food. I could do without the drinking. Like, just I have a drink here and there. Just give me some good food.
Oh my god,
Yeah, I think that's the way I am too with food.
The
Just
food,
you want some
yeah.
really good
Just
food.
give me a nice drink.
Because I don't mind buying a drink. I would rather not have to pay for my food and pay for my alcohol than vice versa, just
Yeah.
because I don't drink a lot.
Oh, bro.
So,
Bye. I'm drinking. I want all of it.
Hello?
All
so
of
on the
it.
cruise, you buying the drink pass.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not
See,
getting
I'm not
on the
buying
cruise
the
with
drink
that.
pass.
Drink
I'm not-
pass. Girl,
most
this
definitely
I'm
with
not
drink
drink.
pass.
They gave us drink.
I'm not buying the
passes.
drink
Yeah.
pass. It's a waste of money.
No.
And if it's two people,
You have to.
if
do
two
it.
people that's over 18 that's sharing a room,
They both. Have
they
to
both
do
people have
it.
to
Even
buy
if you
it,
don't drink.
even if you don't
Because
drink.
there are
Yep.
people that will probably try to share it. I've shared mine
Yep.
with people before, so I know
Yeah.
it happens. But
See,
I
my
mean,
my
Yeah, every
coworker,
cruise I've been
her,
on, I bought you
but
some.
even if you're traveling with kids, my son, they didn't make me pay for a drink package, but they made me pay for a soda package, and you already get free soda on the cruise.
that's crazy.
How
I
much
had
is
to
that?
pay. It was like $119.
What? Really?
But because we did a 7-day cruise, and they do it per day
okay.
plus
Yeah.
gratuities. But he
Gotcha.
got like
Okay.
free soda and shit. And I'm like, he could have got free soda and shit from anywhere, anyways.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like it's stupid,
Right.
but because
That
I had the alcohol package, they
Mhm.
made me get that
That's-
package for my
mm.
son. It's stupid. So yeah, take that into
Any way to
consideration when
get
you
your
wanna drink on a cruise.
any way to get some money. My coworker though, they found the loophole, and eventually they might catch on to it. But it was her and her husband and their 2 sons, and her husband don't drink. So what they did was when they booked the rooms, they booked an adult with a kid. And then so they made it seem like they were sharing, so only she only bought the drink pass
and
for just her.
For them,
right? And
that
worked
but
out.
a lot of people do that anyways because you can't have not for the drinking purposes, but when you have more than 3 kids, it's hard to get cramped in those rooms. So if you want 2 cabins, you can't have them under 18. So a lot of times it'll be the mom in one room, the dad in another room. That's not necessarily saying they're sleeping that way.
Yeah. I ain't been on a cruise in a minute. I feel like pretty much like after COVID, people was just kind of like cool on cruises, just being that. I love cruises,
but COVID is still out there. Like our cruise, there was people with COVID on the cruise. Like a lot of people were saying they were sick because there was like a Facebook group for that particular cruise, and they were saying the cruise before them people had COVID. And then like our trip, I know I got sick in the middle of our trip. I don't feel like I had COVID where I lost but I had like almost like allergies, like my nose was stuffy. It wasn't coffee or fever or anything like that, but my nose was stuffy the whole time there. And it started like mid-trip. And I thought it was because of the time difference and the change. It was like 30, 40 degrees
altitude, right?
one day.
And Alaska too, right?
So, but it came out, a lot of people got sick on that trip and there was a lot of COVID. So COVID is still happening, but I think because vaccinations or whatever the case may be, they're not as much, or people are not dying, so they're just going ahead with these cruises. But there were a lot of people on that cruise with COVID.
Wow.
With COVID. So you know what I mean? It kind of like, it's mind-blowing because of how dramatic the whole pandemic was, but there were people on this cruise who had COVID, and it wasn't like no one was like testing people or nothing. And
it's still surprising to see people still wearing masks.
Oh yeah, I do see a lot of people still.
Matter of fact, we just went to breakfast today. We went to Shay's on St. Clair, and the lady, our server, had a mask on. I'm like, damn, people still
in the hospital with masks.
I have coworkers that go to work with their masks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's because it's air quality. You don't know what's going on in the air, like
and
then we talking about some wildfires.
Yeah, the Canadian wildfires. That's crazy. That is crazy.
So I mean, it happens.
Well, y'all been kicking it too. BB was in Arizona celebrating her birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Oh no, you gotta say it directly to her.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, boo.
You know, thank you. You gotta give her all the love. Joanna was in Alaska and just came back from Chi-Town. I love Chicago.
I love Chicago too.
I
love that city.
I feel like last night they had a Beyonce concert.
I wanted to go this weekend too. Why didn't you call me, girl? I wanted to go so bad.
But I didn't want to go break your hearts. I'm
going
going Wednesday to the show
I
in
want
Detroit.
to go. So my favorite DJ was performing on Saturday at a phone party, and I wanted to go, but I just came back from Chicago, and then before that, my wife was like, "Girl,
like sit your ass down somewhere."
Yeah,
right.
So I'm like, "Oh man."
Oh, and you gotta get back with me on the trip for both of y'all. Matter of fact.
What are we doing?
It's BB. I'm on both of y'all asses. BB, what's that? To Thailand.
And we're going to Jamaica in
November. I have a timeshare in Thailand.
So we gotta
are
talk
you
about
going
Thailand.
into November? Because I got time off.
Jamaica.
Oh, see, we planning trips.
17 to the 21st.
Kim missing out.
My boss just told me I had to cancel a trip for November because my wife doesn't want to go. And my boss was like, "You got like 42 hours of PTO." I'm like, "What?" Yes. That almost never happens. I'm on the books and shit.
And then you gotta tell me about your trip. Hold on, is these around the same time? No,
that's
June.
next year. I want to do
June, and yours is next September.
Yes.
Okay, man. Yeah, I gotta start writing some shit down.
September. I'm planning. I'm planning it for myself, but I was telling Shannon that the Fly Girl committee should go, so we can talk about it later. But I'm gonna do a women's retreat in Bali, Indonesia.
Oh yeah, we definitely
for my 40th birthday. And it's all about, it's in September next year. And it's all about yoga healing. You don't have to, but it's unlimited massages.
When she said that, I was so
it's unlimited, and it's different. Either the hot stone or the facials. It's all treatment. It's all centered around catering to you and your well-being. It's
there.
meditating, yoga, whatever.
Right.
So we plan on doing that
Yes.
September 2024.
Yes. Please
And
send me
catch
that.
a flight.
that's gonna be dope.
I got a spa day plan. My girl Brittany, who I travel with a lot, she's flying in Tuesday night.
This coming Tuesday?
Yeah, so we can go to Beyonce Wednesday, and we got a spa day
How much
planned.
you got tickets?
I think they was like $375. I
I'm gonna say
think.
so now.
I don't
I'll
know.
take that
Look,
shit up
look and see.
To go where?
To Beyonce in Detroit.
What
We
is
ain't
that?
staying the night Wednesday. We just driving up, going and coming back.
Oh, I can't go Wednesday. Because I only work like 2 days a week, and Wednesday's one of them.
And you know,
You know,
and
I got a high
Where do you-
salary, and they depend on those 2 days a
Yeah.
week, so I do not take off.
Yeah. Where do you work at?
I work for, I work downtown.
she said I work downtown.
And do
Well,
the most.
Look,
Yeah.
so you ain't got to give us the specifics on that, but the first episode we talked about you having your own travel agency.
Yeah.
You ain't even plug your own business.
Oh,
She
yeah,
didn't tell
dude.
the name,
You know
how to
what?
contact her, or nothing. So Joanna, tell us about this travel agency.
So, you know what it is? I'm down a travel agent, and I'm so busy. So I don't do a lot of promoting these days. But yeah, check me out at Wanderlust.
And you can contact her on Facebook.
Facebook,
Yeah.
Joe Rivera, or Wanderlust LLC. I'm on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. I'm really just on Facebook.
Okay.
A lot of it comes through word of mouth. I also, my website comes in. It's just been a super busy year for me.
Okay.
And one of my travel agents opened up her own travel agency. Shout out to her and her business, because
Okay,
it's always
that's
dope
what's
to
up.
grow. That don't
Right.
bother me at all.
That's dope.
I'm really happy for
It's
her.
enough out here for everybody.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
So
a
I'm
lot
down
of
an
women,
agent.
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
competition. Like it's enough
We
out
were
here
just
for
talking
For
everybody.
everybody,
we
yeah,
can
and
all
her, you know,
win.
she's got a whole different thing. She was the girl that was handling my budget trips, and
Okay.
that's not something that I just don't want to do anymore, because it's a lot. And
You want to
and,
book the people that got the money to travel.
Yeah.
but it's
Right.
not okay. It's
Yes.
not only that. It's just because those
Yes.
budget trips, like, those are some of the worst kind of people, because they just harass the hell out of you,
Yeah.
and it's just like, damn, it's not even worth.
It's like, why are you
All
even
of
trying to
this.
do this if you? I mean,
And
okay,
I
let's say
understand going
this.
on a budget trip,
Right.
but sometimes people want 5-star resorts and
With 1-star
first
income.
class seats, and it's just
Yeah.
like, I can't make miracles happen. And then they'll get like a bad idea of travel agents, and it's like, I never said I could like get you a $25 flight.
Right. See, my
Yeah.
thing is like I'm not trying to break the bank or whatever traveling. I enjoy doing it, and I don't mind like like sharing a room. When we talk about like Thailand, like us sharing a room or something like that. But it's certain things like that I'm just not, I'm not gonna waver on. Like I need to be somewhere clean and comfortable. I feel like wherever I'm,
Yeah.
wherever I'm staying needs to kind of represent how I am in my real life. But
No,
I'm not also
seriously.
like I'm not flying first class. I'm not doing,
Yeah.
This was. Well, that was business class, but
Yeah,
business
it was
class
work.
similar, like that was work or whatever. Like I would never pay that amount of money for no damn
But you
flight
can also,
ever in
there's
life.
ways of doing it. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
paying
can, but
that.
I'm big on pre-planning.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind like planning a trip in advance and paying on it
Mhm.
so that I don't have to limit myself, so
Or
I
rush
can
and get
enjoy it.
back.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why you really can't travel with a lot
There's
of people
certain
because
things,
people
right.
have different expectations. Which
Yeah.
one of the things, girl trips. Girl trips is always some drama because a lot of people don't have the same travel expectations of the people that they traveling with, and it should
I
be
know
going
that. Yeah.
all the way left,
Real quick.
real quick.
So, but the reason why I opened my travel agency was to show people that you can travel the world without breaking the bank. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we used
but
to
you
go,
gotta be reasonable.
You gotta be reasonable,
And
and you gotta
understand
be
your
a
budget.
planner and research. And if you
Right.
don't, then you hire a travel agent to do it for you. But then, so it became a thing where people just thought I can get them a flight to like Florida for $10, and it's like that's not really
That was
what
during
I
COVID.
do. And those
Right.
trips became.
I mean, they do.
It
Spirit
just
do
became
have
worse
flights
and worse and worse
to
and
Miami
worse.
for $30.
But
But that's not, that's not really what I do. Like, I like to do the whole experience. I want
Right.
to take you out the country and show you what that country has to offer. A lot of times, my company does your dinner reservations, your spa reservations. We try to stay away from the all-inclusives, but we will. It's whatever the client wants, but it's for the experience. And I try, like me personally, I do Europe. and I do a lot of Mexico because I go to Mexico a lot. But my niche, what I like to work on are those month-long trips to Italy and stuff like that. So I try to focus on that while my other travel agents worked, but I'm down in aging and it's just getting hard.
She's not saying if you don't have the money, she can't work with you.
Yeah.
However,
I offer payment plans.
Yes.
So that's the thing now. Like I don't, and also when you're looking for the cheapest hotel, it's the cheapest hotel for a reason. So I'd rather offer you a payment plan and work within your budget than to just look for the cheapest hotel, the cheapest flight. Nobody's trying to be on a 13-hour layover in like Chicago or some shit like that. Like,
right.
It's not about the cheapest. It's not about the cheapest. Budget is not about paying the lowest price.
And then sometimes you got to think about it like, you're paying for that experience, and that's worth, a lot, because you're gonna always have those
and you
memories.
may never go back there
And
again.
it might have to be a situation where, maybe you can't take multiple trips in 1 year. Hell, maybe you can't take a trip every year. You might have to do like every other year, like just do what's in your budget, so that you can have.
Make it worth it when you're out
That's
there.
that's what I feel
Take
like.
all the pictures. Fuck the people that are talking about people go on vacation and document everything. When you got Alzheimer's and you can't remember that trip, them pictures are there.
I mean, I feel like, ain't that what Instagram was created for anyway, to post pictures?
That's why you got the app
Ain't
to
that what,
look
right?
at
Ain't that
pictures.
so? You mean to tell me it's okay for you to watch every single thing I post, but you don't post nothing? But it's an issue because I'm posting. Why are you watching? I'm giving your ass something to watch. Right? Why are you here? Ain't that what Instagram was created for? Like, I'm just saying.
Take
this
the
ain't
pictures.
Twitter.
Take the pictures.
Go on Twitter if you don't want to see the pictures, and even they post pictures on Twitter.
Or Threads. I'm on Threads.
Like, come on now. People be killing me. Like, don't never post nothing but got the most to say. I'm sorry your life boring. My life lit. I'm just saying. I'm living, baby.
Cheers to that.
Right. Cheers to that, for sure.
I don't have any more wine.
We living. Oh, you
I do have some more wine. I got a little
we
bit
out
in there.
here living.
I need some more of that lemonade stand.
Hey, we might have to dub back and get a second bottle.
So I wanted to talk about something today that really, really pisses me off.
Go ahead, Joanna. You have the floor.
Because this makes me so angry, and it's not. Okay, so I want to talk about the situation with the girl from Houston getting arrested in Dubai. And it's not her that I'm mad at. Well, I'm mad at her too. But it's not really her that I'm mad at. What I'm pissed off about is her lawyer getting on TV.
I didn't see this stuff.
It's
So
on Instagram.
It's a
I saw it on
story.
Instagram.
If you haven't heard about it, it's a story. I don't do a lot of like detective work because I'm not that good, but I read about it on Twitter. So apparently a young lady and her friends are in Dubai and they rented a car and crashed that car. I don't know why they left the car and left their belongings in the car, but the young lady tried to go to the car rental place the next day, and I guess she left her credit card and her purse and her passport and stuff. They told her that she would not be able to leave, that there were some exorbitant fees she had to pay before they would release the items that they were found in the car.
Okay.
An argument ensued. I guess he was being disrespectful and kind of getting loud. So she then, in turn, got disrespectful and started getting loud in a country where they
don't really fuck with
women don't
Let's call
have
it for what
rights.
it
Like
is.
women don't have rights. Like you can be there with your husband and the hotel can be in your name and they're gonna talk directly to your husband. They're gonna they don't, and it's just, who am I to tell them how to run their fucking country? So this is why I got upset with the lawyer, because this happens a lot when people travel out of the country. Us Americans, we are wild and we are a privileged bunch
Spoiled
of people.
and
We are
entitled.
spoiled. We act out, and it is what it is. And it's just America. You're used to it. It happens every day, whatever. But in those countries, women can't do that.
Yeah.
They don't even tolerate women having a brain. They don't tolerate women having their own
really,
opinions.
for one thing,
Women can't speak
reproduce.
out. They can't. You're to reproduce and take care of your husband.
And be submissive
A
to
lot
your
of people
husband,
know this about Muslim countries. You see Muslim women covered up from head to toe, even in America, and it's not. I'm pretty sure they don't want to be hot in 90-degree weather like that on purpose. You know what I mean? Because they like it. So she was arrested for that, and her lawyer got on TV and was like.
I ain't see the lawyer. I ain't see what the lawyer.
Because
had to
I
say.
feel like I work in law, so I feel like this man is just robbing this family of their money, because you know goddamn well as a lawyer, excuse my language, edit that out, you know well as a lawyer the laws. You know that you cannot break a law and everything is going to be okay. He got on live TV and was saying that he doesn't believe that she committed a crime, and that it's not fair for women to be treated differently from men. Like, why couldn't she do the same thing that the man did to her? But this is a country where women don't have rights.
I mean, let's be all the way honest. It's not even just
and it
Dubai.
doesn't matter what
it's been that
opinion
way
in
from the
Muslim
beginning
countries.
of time.
And
We didn't even
Dubai
have
is a
rights to
safe
vote.
country. Thank
We
you.
in America, we did not have rights to vote.
Till
You know,
recently.
like women ain't never got the same fair trade as men. You know, even when it comes down to I don't know if you guys remember, they had did a study on hygiene products.
Mm-hmm.
And they went around and they were looking at like razors, shaving cream, deodorant, you know, stuff like that, and comparing the price of how much men pay for stuff, how, you know, for the men products and how much it costs for the women products. They did the same study when it came down to salaries in like corporate America, what men are getting paid versus what women are getting paid. We always get the short end of the stick. It's been like that since the beginning of time. So you can't go over, you know, like shout out to her for being able to go over to Dubai and take this dope trip. But at the end of the day, you can't go to Dubai acting like you in Miami.
Yeah,
You just can't do that. You know, it's not. You have to educate yourself on where you're going and, you know, what's customary to those countries and that culture, because you can find yourself, you know, something as simple as jaywalking, you know, which is like, it's against the law, but who's really getting arrested for it, you know, locally, you could really be fined or, you know, detained for something like that.
Or
You really
like,
have
And I ain't going to jail.
So in my time in
Right,
Thailand,
exactly.
in my time in Thailand, I remember I was talking to someone at this dinner. We had this dinner with like people from all over the world, different like, you know, places in life and stuff. And these people were saying that in Thailand, if you get caught stealing a pair of shorts out of a store, you're going to jail for life in prison.
Oh.
So you know what I mean? Like you and it's like, who are we? So then the lawyer goes on, this is why I get pissed. Who am I to tell? To me, as Americans, we're like, fuck, that's harsh. Life in prison, in a country like that, like that's crazy. But that's because we're Americans. And I always sit back and tell myself, like, and I tell my wife all the time, we are so spoiled here that we, for some reason, think that the rest of the world gives one single piece of flying fuck about how we feel.
Exactly.
They don't. They don't. I can
Half of the time, they don't even
I
want
can
us in
say
their
that is
country.
unfair
They don't.
until I'm blue in the face.
Right.
But like, I
Life ain't fair.
was reading this analogy online earlier, and this lady was saying that's like, you know, I don't have no kids, and my sister comes over to my house with kids and lets her kids just jump on my couches and shit. And I tell her, no, that's not cool. I don't want that. You know, tell your kids to get down. And she tells me, well, they do that at home. What the fuck does that have to do with my home?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like, when we gotta stop putting ourselves, because it makes us look bad. Like, we're gonna just do whatever we want, and just because we feel like it's okay, it's not. Like, because then they're gonna start making examples out of us. Then they're gonna ruin it for everybody. Like,
People aren't gonna.
they're not
travel
gonna want
these
us to
places.
go there,
Yep.
and people are not
They're
gonna
gonna
want
make
to
it
go
harder.
there. Like,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna
Especially
be
in
more
countries like
money
that.
for the people who do go, because now tourism is down, and all you had to do is just like.
Follow the rules. Educate
And
yourself
even
on
if
where
you
you're
got
going.
loud, like, you know, they're saying he got loud with her, she got loud. I don't think so. You know, me personally, if someone tried to keep my credit card and all that, I would turn the fuck up. And that's just me as a person. Like, I know I would, so I wouldn't even put myself in that position.
Right.
It happens.
But realistically, if you crashed this car and did this damage, and your goofy ass left your credit card
That's
in
why I was like,
purse,
why you leaving? And it
in
wasn't
the
in
car.
her name, because I was reading. I mean, it said that it was in her friend's name, so I would have never left my shit. She would have never had to.
I
get
mean,
home.
can you really blame the rental car if they looking at their, you know, their property damage?
It's not a cheap place. I want to know what kind of car.
Yeah,
they run,
this
because that's
property
not a
is
cheap
damaged,
place to
and they
visit.
have possession of a credit card as that they could potentially have as leverage to make sure that they get some type of compensation for this damage. Can you really blame them for holding onto the card? Was he right? He probably, and you know, he probably did use the fact that he was a man, you know, and he could get away with that, you know. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you gotta not move off of emotion. And I know, like,
You do
I've
have to
been
humble
guilty
yourself,
of it
like,
on myself,
absolutely.
you know, like letting my emotions get the best of me. But sometimes you gotta think outside. You gotta think with logic, and you know, like, is it really worth it? Especially, I wouldn't have never pulled no shit like that out the country. Hell no. Like,
That's my biggest
Hell
fear
no.
is going to jail out the
I
country.
used to watch
I don't
this shit,
care.
man.
I don't care if you're in the wrong. You got it. Because I don't want to go to jail out
Listen,
here.
I
And it's
used-
just, you have to be, not everybody can. You got to be a strong-minded person to do that, because there are some nasty people out there. Like, me and my wife went to Paris and they were throwing food at us and calling her a dyke and all types of shit. Like, and she got really aggressive, but I kept getting scared. Like, I don't want to go to jail in Paris.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you
That's
just have
crazy.
to, sometimes you just got to swallow your pride.
Absolutely.
If you want to, because, you know, they're not begging us to come to these countries.
Right.
We're going to them.
Exactly. That is true, because last time I checked, Dubai was not offering no free trips. That shit is not cheap. Them
No.
flights ain't cheap.
So,
So
and
if you
so I'm
want to
not
spend all
mad at
that
the
money
girl
to go over there and act the fool.
and act a fool. So, and you know, I'm not mad at the girl for going to Dubai. I'm not even mad at the girl for how she acted. It is what it is. If you go to jail, it's on you. I get mad at people who feel like they can go to these other countries, do whatever the fuck they want, go to jail, and then have America rooting for them.
Right.
Like, oh, it's not fair. No one cares.
And I hate when
how
it's
we
people
feel.
of color, because it's embarrassing to us.
It could be anybody though. Like, white people do
But you
it. Like,
ain't hearing. But
No,
you ain't
you
hearing
don't hear
about
as
the white
much as
people.
I
though.
do
You
hear about it because I be searching for shit. Like, when was the last time someone got arrested in this country? Like,
But as
you
far
know,
as like
it's
what we
just
see on
more
social
mainstream
media,
on social
yeah, it's a
media
lot of,
because
it's
they have a
usually people
lot
of
more
color.
support
Yeah.
and, you know, rallying up social media. But there are a lot of cases like that where some people don't even get heard of at all, and they're like trying to fight the system and mad. But like,
That's true. So I used to watch this show called Locked Up Abroad. I don't know if it still come on or not, but that show is crazy. However,
I would be afraid to be locked up.
However, it wasn't really from people doing anything crazy, breaking any laws from traveling. Like, they knew what the fuck they was doing. They went over to breaking the law. Most of them smuggling drugs or whatever. But the whole reason I'm bringing it up is not necessarily what they were doing to get locked up, but to see like how some of these prisons are.
And
And
that
some
would
of
be
these
enough to
prisons,
scare you, right?
Like,
Seriously.
why
These
in
people
the
don't even
world?
have
Seriously.
safe water to drink outside
Right.
of prison.
They
Why
they
would you
don't
want to go to
shirts
their
up to the-
prison?
Like, why would you even
So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
play
my
with your
thing. Like,
freedom like that?
please
Yeah.
stop traveling to these countries and telling them what they need to do because you feel different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do some research.
I think anyway.
If you go into a Muslim country, know that as a woman, they don't give a fuck about us, you, nothing.
Or nothing you
They're-
got to say.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you're the one with the big money, they're going to address the man that's with you. It's just how it is there, and it's just, who am I
Yeah.
to tell them that?
And for everybody who likes to indulge in the plants of the earth, be careful if your ass if that's what type of time you're gonna be on traveling. Don't travel with me if
I'm
you
afraid
got
of that.
if you smuggling some weed. I don't give a damn if we going to if we on a flight. Don't travel with me smuggling shit, because let me tell you, you on your own. I help you with your bond.
I smoke
but
and I would never. I mean,
I'ma
might,
still go
I
on
might
the trip.
almost get in trouble trying to find it there, but I would
Yeah.
never smoke.
I would
it
rather
there.
you try to find it.
It's
once
usually
we
not hard
reach
to
our
find. All you gotta
destination.
do is go to a beach and someone's gonna offer you
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
Exactly.
No matter
Especially,
where you
especially
go.
in Jamaica, it's as soon as you touch down.
Mhm.
But
It's
yeah,
everywhere.
I would rather you try to find it once we reach our destination than to try
Right.
to
It's just
smuggle
not
it on
worth
the
it.
plane. Cause
Yeah.
listen, I ain't trying to get my flight privileges revoked. I like to travel too much.
I'm about to get on this flight and go home.
Yeah.
We want to go
I'm going
home.
right.
You'll be there.
I'm a call your mother for you, and y'all figure it out. Cause I ain't got nothing to do with that. But yeah,
So that was my pet peeve. That's what I wanted to talk about because I seen that today and got so mad. Like, damn.
yeah. I saw that story and I was like, and
I
a
didn't
friend
hear
of
about
mine, she posted and she was like, you can cross Dubai off my list. And I hit her DM and I'm like, yo, you gotta consider, educate
gotta
yourself on
take-
these places that you going. You can't just go over there thinking like, oh, I'm American. You think they give a fuck about that? Like, that don't matter.
Shit, you can go to Hawaii and they will arrest you because they got different rules from over
Yeah,
here.
you just really have
You go
to
to Chicago
know what you're doing.
And get
Right,
arrested.
exactly.
I'm not going to
I
jail
love Chicago.
nowhere.
I
I'm
love
not even
Chicago
going.
so
I'm not
much.
even going to jail in Cleveland.
Exactly.
So
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
I did 3 days.
I do
Jail
the,
ain't for me.
I do the speed limit. I wear my seatbelt. I stop
ain't
at
for
stop
me.
signs. Like, let me tell you, I ain't got time.
It's
I'm not messing
152
around.
cells inside that cell block.
It
ain't
I,
for me.
I ain't about. I like orange, but I can't wear it every day.
I
I'm
ain't about
sorry.
that
I ain't
life.
about that
I'm
life.
sorry.
Yeah, I ain't about that life.
They wear
But-
green and pink in there.
Oh, well, see, I don't care what color. I don't look. See, that's how out of touch. I'm glad I'm out of touch. I don't even know what color they wear because that's how much I don't want to know. Even though it's unrelated to like really like what we talk about, but that Carly Russell story, the girl that saw the
Alabama.
that saw the kid, she reported
the
that
girl
she
that
that
went
the
missing.
fake kidnapped. Oh my god, like that.
That
That's,
she got kidnapped by a man and a woman.
but how you Googling?
What was the whole process?
So
We don't know
my
why.
thing is,
The whole
how do
purpose.
they know what she was Googling? Like,
They got her phone.
They got her
They got her
Oh,
phone.
oh, from the car.
Why you Googling taking and
But what
do
was
you
your
gotta pay
purpose
for
that?
Amber
And
Alert?
like got food twice.
Right,
And
you
some
know-
of the food was missing. I don't know. I feel like people have mental health issues.
Yeah.
Maybe she had like either
It's a
she
breakdown.
had a mental health issue or she was trying to hit the road
I think
without
it's
anybody knowing.
attention. I feel like attention is the new
But how-
drug.
but that
I
is
feel
a
like
different
it's
kind
worse
of
than
attention.
fentanyl, and people seek it desperately.
I feel
I
like
don't
that's
know.
a different.
I don't-
Maybe she thought a GoFundMe was gonna come up because that's coming up a lot too, where they're faking their disappearances and
Yeah.
like GoFundMes keep
I
popping
don't
up.
understand like what was the whole
Yeah,
purpose of that?
I'm gonna
What was your
need.
Maybe-
purpose?
I need
Like,
her
they
to
have
have
She wanted
cameras
to
cameras.
everywhere.
disappear.
They have cameras everywhere.
Yeah, they did show her on camera like
Yeah.
running around with nobody.
She need to do it. She needs to sit down
It
and do
could
an
be mental
interview
health.
with somebody. Call up Gail King. Somebody
Now,
interview
does she go
her.
to jail for that? Does she get probation?
That's
or
the
what?
thing.
My
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
I
People
feel
are
like
saying
they
she
should
should
go
be
to
charged.
jail. If it's something that she did on purpose without mental health issues,
Mhm.
she should go to jail. She got people looking for her. They
The
use
whole
the
world.
money
a
wasted.
lot of resources
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
try to track her
If
down.
at
and
minimum she should
now
have
they're
to pay
looking
back that
for her
money.
kidnappers and
Yeah.
shit like that. Like, if you did this just for attention, then something should happen so that these types of situations will stop.
But I feel like that, and not just in her, in her case, but just anything. I feel like if you falsely accuse somebody of something and it's determined that you were lying, I feel like there should be some type of repercussions to
Oh,
that
for
because
sure.
that's you people like it's the oh my god, I think I'm gonna probably get the name wrong, but we just watched it. It was it's a story. It's a story about this white teenage boy that got killed, and they accused his mom's ex-boyfriend. I want to say is I cannot think of his name right now, but it might come to me. But basically, long story short, it was a small town, and it was a coach. He was a soccer coach, and he was dating. He happened to be black guy dating this white woman in this small town. Her ex worked for the police, and he didn't like them. Of course, they didn't like this black man dating this white woman. But long story short, her son, her 12-year-old, I think it was 12 or 14, he ended up getting killed. And they accused him. He was the only person that they accused. They never really even tried to come up with any other suspects. I gotta get the name. It's killing me that it's literally, if I have my phone, I could pull it up. But ruined this man's life. Like, this man, he was a coach at a college university. He had a military career. I mean, had a good life going for himself, and completely ruined this man's life just because he was accused of this. And really what it boils down to is because he was a black man dating a white woman. That's really what it boiled down to when you think about it. And it's just like, of course he has a civil suit. This is the first civil suit ended up getting thrown out. He now has a second civil suit going on. It's currently, as of when I watched the documentary, it currently was pending at that time, so a decision hadn't been made. But I mean, this man had a wonderful life, and it ended up, resulting in him basically losing his career, everything that he worked so hard to accomplish for something that he didn't do. So I just feel like these people, like with the Jussie Smollett, like here you are, you got the celebrity, you on this popular TV show, and just because you feel like you want to be more popular and you feel like you should get paid more, you make up this whole fake concocted story about you being jumped by these Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on now, like what's wrong with people?
And it's crazy because it's real people
And
that's
it comes
actually
out.
missing.
It always comes out when you're doing it like for views and for money. When your intentions are bad, it always comes out.
I think it's called social media.
I think
None of this stuff happens with
social media has a lot to do with it. I feel like even people see how a person is living and they want to emulate that, but you don't know the story behind it. So it's just like
social media is a
you right.
You really don't know.
I know this person. I know they cannot.
You just don't know. You just really don't know.
You can't believe what you see.
You're right.
For real, because
people make myself.
People make it look good.
Right.
People make it look good. Look, I'm
balling
on a budget.
Look like I got clean skin.
I'm balling on a budget. I tell people
social media it should be for entertainment because that's what all it is.
Right.
It's entertainment. Like
people take
I be seeing these memes like it ain't no way I should know about your baby daddy having a boyfriend because I shouldn't.
Right.
I shouldn't.
Or they get on social media, start crying.
I feel like that's when it got out of control. Like it just became. Some people use it as a diary. And no shade to people that use it a lot. I don't care, but I don't think it was intended for what it's being used for.
Maybe that one crazy because I feel like it has to be some level of mental illness for you to be able to hold your phone and record yourself crying. And I'm supposed to feel empathy for you. How the fuck are you holding your phone?
Because they going through it in that moment and they need help.
You cannot possibly be that hurt if you sitting up there with a filter recording yourself crying. You ain't that damn hurt. I don't feel.
It's not the filter.
Skip. I'm
the
not
devil's working.
I'm not about to deal with this.
I'm not come on now.
Blocked.
Never in my life. It ain't never been that bad where I'm gonna record myself crying.
Yeah.
On motherfucking.
Or sit in the hospital. Pray for me. I'm in the hospital. Dude, you got the flu.
It's that attention thing, man. I'm telling you, it's attention. It's worse than that fentanyl. People crave that shit.
Seriously.
Like I don't know if people weren't hugged enough as kids by their parents. They weren't told they were loved enough. I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know. They just have more of an audience, more of a reach. So people who just never had a lot in their life might look to social media to outlet, so they have more. They might feel like they got more friends because of social media than they actually do in real life.
Yeah, that's some deep rooted stuff. I suggest you see a therapist. Them some issues.
For sure. But therapy is always great. I see a therapist. I feel like everybody should see it.
Right.
I think I need to see one.
Like, I feel like therapy is lit. Therapy is lit.
First of all,
the one thing we always take for granted that's the most important is our mental health.
Our mental health. Well, you got a whole nother situation you battling because you a Gemini, so that's already.
That's
a problem. She already dealing with two separate personalities.
Two separate things.
So you gonna need two. You need two therapists actually because they gotta deal with which BB we did. Which one we getting today?
No, I'm telling you, I'll be at home like, it's people that call me, they'll call, and I'm like, did this motherfucker, maybe it's me. Maybe it's nobody else but me. I mean, it's not me, it's the world.
If you're a Gemini and you're asking me the issue, it's probably you.
I'm serious. I'll be there at work, I'm like, it's not me, it's really the world.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I have those moments too where I'm
it's
like,
it's not me. It's
I don't ever have those moments. That's how I know I'm not
serious.
a Gemini.
See, I'm a Sagittarius, and we actually do have some similar personality traits with Geminis.
No,
we don't have two separate personalities like them. We are emotional.
Very.
We definitely wear our heart.
Geminis,
we love hard.
Y'all are crazy. There's
Right.
two sides of y'all.
Right.
no, I'm trying to
We love hard, and then when people fuck us over,
Like a Gemini.
we don't understand that
We don't
concept.
care
You
nothing
know,
about that.
so we get very emotional because we be conflicted because we still love this person, but we be like, it be like, I love you, but fuck you. You
No.
know,
Love you, okay. Nothing about
You cut me off. Guess what?
Bye.
see, I'm
You
such
got
a
trouble with me?
I'm gonna keep you forever.
see, I'm a
It's
wild
always
person,
good.
and I'm
It's
trying
always
to
good keep
like
with Gemini.
like come to terms with that, but I've always been like, I want to know why a person did the fuck shit they did.
Really?
Even if we never speak again, I be feeling like I want to know why, because I always look at it like I wouldn't have did that to you, and that has caused me so much wasted time in my life
bet.
I don't
on
care.
You
situations
just
that
gotta
are so like.
turn
But
your back on it and
I'm
who
telling
cares?
you now, I'm in a different headspace. I don't know if it's just getting older and just having more experience, but honestly, I just don't waste my time on stuff that's just not worth my
Yeah,
time.
I
I
don't.
think
You know,
now-
like it's just not. If I feel like if we as adults, we can have a disagreement. We can literally we can sit here and not disagree on the topic. That does not have to result in us arguing, fighting, disrespecting each other. And if we can't communicate and come to a common ground and move past whatever that issue
No,
is,
we don't need to
then
talk.
it is what it is. You know, the world ain't gonna end. But people egos, you know, get in the way. That can't happen because nobody wants to admit they wrong. Nobody want to take accountability. Everybody want to point the finger. And it's just like, so I gave up on knowing why. Now I don't even care. It's like,
What?
it's,
I
I feel like it's your loss.
I think now
I
I'm
just don't have the energy to find out why. I just
Me
because
either. I
it's
don't
just
care.
like, and it's
I
not even
don't
and
care.
it's not even that I don't care because I actually care. I just don't let it affect me. Like, because I'm the type of person that I feel like you got to take the stress out of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And once we
That stress will kill you,
once we
literally.
realize that there are things that are completely out of our control, and there's nothing you could do to change it, you start living a little better.
Yeah.
So I be having situations where like people will be mad at me and start fighting with me and argue with me and not talk to me, and I just be like, well, when you're ready to talk, I'm here. But I can't be running after you, chasing you, wondering why you mad, what I
Right.
did. I'm not dealing with none of that shit.
See,
Not
I
a
can see
piece of
Joanna
none of
smoking
it.
her blunt like, fuck
I'm
you.
sorry. It might bother me. I might think about it, but I'm not gonna stress myself out. I
Yeah.
spent too much time stressing out over shit I couldn't change, and it never changed.
Right.
So like, I can't let you make me upset because you're upset. Like
Right.
that's how I feel now. If
Period.
you
Right.
want to talk about it, let's be adults and talk about it. But
Right.
if you don't want to talk about it, you gonna be mad over there, and I'm gonna be over here just like
Communication
booking my
is
next
key.
trip or something.
Yep.
See, I think I'm at a place.
I
Since me
can't.
turning 40, I don't care.
Exactly.
It was
'cause
like
I'm
a
turning
change.
40.
I'm telling you, when I hit 40, I don't care about nothing. You don't like me? You got a problem? One
That's
less
your
person
Yeah,
I got to
we're
deal
not
with.
about to be
One
outside
less person.
fighting,
Jump on-
arguing,
right.
Jump
social
on the back of the
media, none
list.
of that.
I think maybe that's what it is, because 40 approaching, you know, I got what, a little over 4 months before the big 40
I
get
know
here.
you're about a year and a half for me.
So
Yes, y'all babies.
I
Y'all
think
babies.
that's the like she's so much older.
Right.
Like, got me about 1 year. Girl, we was
Babies.
just
They're
at
babies.
your sneaker ball last year. Bringing in your 40 and we gonna be bringing in mine
Oh my
this
God,
year.
y'all just not turning 40?
Jesus. And I'm having a party,
So,
so
yeah, I think that's what
I'm a
it is.
cougar.
Like, the
y'all
older
start
you get.
getting y'all 80s gear ready.
Oh, I'm
we
ready.
turning
I
up.
love a good 80s
We
party.
turning up.
I
We
love
doing it
80s
back to
party.
the 80s. We doing it. We gonna, you know, we gonna do it fly girl committee style.
I suck at parties, so I will not be having a party, but we are going to do that retreat.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I'm at peace. I'm at peace.
That's what's up,
Hey,
dude.
I'm at peace. I'm not about to go back and forth with nobody. I don't care. If you have a problem with me, that's your issue.
I feel like
Period.
Shannon, if somebody told me 1 + 1 was 3, I would debate you from the sun up from sundown.
I'm not
You know
giving
what?
you
You
my
can
I
have
could
it.
draw a picture.
You
Yeah.
can
Now
have
it's
it.
like, if you want to spend the rest of your life, that's stupid. Go
Right.
ahead.
If you
I'm
think 1
at
+
peace.
1 is 3, you
Go
can have
ahead.
it.
You just keep going on with life.
You have it. I'm not.
I'm
know
at
what?
peace.
I'm
My
a-
peace
When
is
you get
everything.
finessed
Yes.
at the
I'm trying to
cashier,
tell you.
Yes.
My peace is. I used to do all that back and forth and wonder why. Oh my God, why this person don't? Why this? Why? No, ain't no why. Guess what?
and I feel like that's what
One less person I gotta deal
It's
with.
a part of your mental health.
Period.
Yeah. That
And
is
you know
true.
what's so crazy? Because you know I worked in mental health for 7 years.
Oh
So
wow.
I already know how to deal with mental health. I know the ins and outs of mental health. You know what I'm saying? Cut everything off. Cut them off. Cut them off. That's the best way.
So, speaking of cutting people off.
What I do?
No, I'm saying, like, have y'all had, like, you know, experiences with girls trips where y'all done had to walk away from certain individuals after those trips have been over? You haven't?
I haven't.
So I feel like I've been lucky enough to, first of all, I don't do girls trips. I just don't do them. I'm not a big fan of traveling in groups.
Okay.
I'm not the type of person that wants to rent a big house and have a whole bunch of us stay there.
Yeah.
I've never been that kind of person, so that's something that I don't typically do. But I have been on girls trips, like my bachelorette obviously was a big girls trip. That's for another time. But the only actual girls trip that I went on was 3 girls or less.
Okay.
And all 3 of us were on the same page. All
Okay.
3 of us did the same thing.
Yeah.
So it was smooth.
Right.
I didn't have that was probably my best trip ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in planning trips for people, and I have done one-on-one trips with people that I've learned, it's not like a lot. I asked this question the other day because I had a group of girls go to Mexico. They all did come back friends. So a lot of people were mentioning alcohol. And then I had a situation where I myself traveled with someone and alcohol wasn't involved. And the first thing I said to myself is, I will never travel with this person again. And it's not nothing with them. I realized that it's just different traveling.
Yeah.
It's different traveling.
Yeah.
So say for instance, I'm the type of person that I don't like fast food. So I'm going to look for a dining restaurant every day of the week.
Yeah, serious.
So say I'm going to a quick trip like Chicago. You know, maybe we're not going to kick it. Maybe we're going for whatever. We're going for a specific reason, like the, they're doing the cannabis cups out there and stuff like that. And so maybe we go out there for that, and I'm bothering you because I want to book a reservation every night of the week. Somebody that likes to go to fast food and not spend money on stuff like that, they might get tired of me because now they spent money that they didn't have to spend, but I'm the type of person that I refuse to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, and I'm not
absolutely.
forcing nobody, but this is where I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And if you want to come, of course, but that I could see how that could bother somebody.
Yeah.
I could see how that could fuck with somebody's vacation plans, their budget.
Right.
Like, I think that, and those are things that we don't take into consideration. Like, even my best friend, I don't know what she eats every day. Like, she's my best friend and I love her, and we like, on our birthdays and stuff, we go to like fine dining restaurants. But if I was to go like on a real vacation with her, I don't know if she would like the same food as me, because I love seafood and always want seafood. She's not a seafood person. So you know what I mean? I think like that, I think that is like, people are saying alcohol, and yeah, maybe it is alcohol, because when you get drunk, you're feeling a little way, you might say more things. But
That's
I really
true.
think it's traveling stuff.
I agree with
traveling
that.
stuff.
I feel like I'm not the biggest fan of girls trips, because I feel like sometimes when it's just like too many personalities, and normally I typically am more closer to people with strong personalities, so we all are extra opinionated, so I don't want to like have the drama or whatever. But whether it's traveling with one person or traveling with 10 people, I agree with what you're saying. And a lot of times I feel like people don't set those proper expectations up front. So, that's where a lot of it comes into play, because like I'm more of I want to relax when I'm on, vacation. Like if I'm going to somewhere like the Caribbean and I'm just going to be chilling on the beach, I just want to chill. If I'm doing something like Chicago, I want to explore. So it kind of just depends on where I'm going and what I'm in the mood to do. So I do think 3 is a good number. I'm trying to think like my last 2 birthday trips, it was 3 of us, and it worked out good. I feel like, you can, because if, one person wants to do something different, the other 2 people maybe, can go venture off or whatever, and it's cool. But yeah, I don't know. You hear about, a lot of stories or whatever, especially, of course, we heard about that story about that poor girl in Mexico that got, attacked by those people and killed by those people. and that still not really knowing all the specifics and details of what that, I know people are like, man, that's crazy, like that you travel with people, and it's like people have like this secret animosity towards you, and y'all end up having an altercation that ultimately leads in someone losing their life. Like, that's crazy.
But a lot of
I've never
times
happened
with these
to that
group
shit.
trips,
Yeah,
they're bringing.
I want to
A
know the
lot
whole
of
story.
times they're bringing a lot of times in those group trips they're bringing somebody that maybe the group don't know. Like some girls usually bringing one of her good friends to make her feel comfortable.
Right.
But what if that girl doesn't vibe well with some other girls in the group? I always think it's a disaster when people go on a group trip and it's guys and girls. I feel like unless you're all couples, that's a disaster, and it's always a disaster. I ain't never seen a successful.
I've yet to do that, and I don't foresee doing that. The
I
only
don't.
guy I'm traveling with is my dude.
No, and I'm sure that
That's it.
there are
That's
groups
it.
that do that, but
Yeah.
I just feel like you need to. A lot of people when they go on these group trips, they invite a lot of people, and you're not really close with some.
Yeah,
of those
it's just
people.
more of like
And that can
just
bring
bodies
you
in the
need- yeah.
room. Like they just trying to, because
fill up the
obviously-
group
yeah,
or
that's-
whatever
yeah,
for
that's
whatever
all it
rate. So
is.
sometimes these people in these group trips aren't friends to begin with.
Yeah,
It
period.
might just be an extra person,
No.
stuff like that, and it's just I don't feel like those situations are safe. You shouldn't be doing that.
Like
Traveling out the country is
enough in itself.
in
Yeah.
itself.
Like my friend, we travel every time together. She might bring a couple of her friends. I might, but look, I tell them, I'm here to relax. If you got beef, you catch me back in Ohio. 'Cause I ain't gonna whoop you right here. I'm gonna catch you when I get back. But every trip I've been on, it's been cool. It's been nothing but good vibes. I love traveling with people like that. I don't do all that. He say she. I don't know you. I don't know nothing about you in your life or who you with.
Right. I don't even want
we
to talk
be-
about drama. We're
Right.
here. We're
We
live.
on
Fun.
vacation. Why are we arguing?
Right,
Why are
right.
we,
Yeah.
I'm not
like.
about to sit there. I'm telling you.
So yeah.
Peace is
Yeah.
everything.
So
Yeah, I
That's
just
why I
feel
can't
like
wait to go on
it's,
no trip.
yeah, it's just now you had mentioned renting the house with a lot of people. The only I do want that experience once. I only want to do it once. I want to do it for Mardi Gras. I want that like a
New
bunch of
Orleans.
us go down
New
there
Orleans.
Y'all
so
know that's my
big
hometown.
for Mardi
it's
Gras.
so damn
Like,
hot down there.
You know,
but
it's
it's
my
not.
hometown.
Well, the weather, it's gonna be Mardi Gras next year. It's gonna be like
Mardi Gras I heard
around-
was the time to go because it was the best
Yeah,
weather.
it's in February.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in February, so it's not gonna be too hot. But that's like the one time I would want to do something like that, just because it's like that type of atmosphere for that, But I feel
I
like
wouldn't mind going on a group thing. I just personally prefer to not stay in the house. Like we've done group trips where they stayed in the same house, and me and my wife just like rented the house next door. or something.
okay.
Like I would be around and I'll be
We
there.
don't-
I
okay.
just
We
personally
can figure
prefer
something like that out.
not to stay in the house. I'll even show up early as fuck for breakfast and start cooking breakfast there.
Hey,
But I
that's
personally
cool.
prefer not to sleep in a house full of people.
That's cool.
That's
We
fine.
can work
It's
that
just
out.
a personal
Yeah.
thing. I don't know why. I just don't.
But I do want to do it. I feel like it's two things that I want to cross off my list in terms of traveling. I already did the solo trip, so I crossed that off. I do want to go out the country by myself, but we'll plan that at some point. But I want the whole like New Orleans, the whole girls trip experience for that. I
Yeah.
do want that, and it's only a couple days, so it's like literally it's like 2.5 days. Like what could go wrong, And
I
then
like New Orleans a lot. They got real good bourbon.
right, and
there.
it's so much like people can do their own thing. Like
There's a lot to do.
Yeah,
I got a lot of
so
family there, too.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
my things, and then the other one is I want to do a group trip like with a travel group, like with people I don't know. I
Oh,
want
I
to
did that.
experience
Yeah,
that.
I was looking into that.
I
did
follow
that.
They
this.
be kicking it
Yes,
too.
I follow this group on Facebook. It's called Black Girls Solo Travel, Black Girls
Yeah.
Solo Travel or something like that. And I mean, they already got a list of places that
Itineraries
they're
they
going.
go.
Yeah, all
And you
through
can
the
go
end of
anywhere.
next
We
year.
did that our first time in Europe because
Yeah.
we didn't know where to go, and we sampled all these things, and we did it with a group of people we didn't know. But you can do it in like age groups,
Mhm.
styles. Like you could
Yeah.
kind of limit exactly what type of group. you
Yeah,
So
do.
I want to do that. I want to cross them two off my bucket list, and then just to say I did it, get it on. It was the three. It was the solo trip, the group trip, and then like the strangers
Stranger
trip,
trip.
basically.
Yeah.
I do
So,
like those trips.
yeah.
I wouldn't do it again, but I do like that they offer those things.
Yeah, I think that's dope. You know, you got all people from all different walks of life.
Yeah, from all around the world.
And, you know, just coming together and going on this trip. And I like how planned it is. They have like everything.
It's a whole
planned.
itinerary, your hotel,
so
your restaurants,
right. Everything's planned out. And I'm a planner. So it takes all of that weight off of my chest, you know, so I can just pay my money, know exactly what I'm doing, and just go and enjoy myself. So that's on my list to do next year. So hopefully
those are
I'll
really
be able to
good
cross
too for
those
people
two
who want to leave the country and don't know where they go or don't feel safe. Those
or don't
are
want
really
to.
good. Those are really good options for them, even if it's a couple, not a solo travel.
Right.
That was super cool.
Well, I can say one dope trip is the hot air balloon.
Yes, tell us about that.
When I
Yes.
say Arizona, I'm moving.
You move? Hey, I can move too. We do have an office in Phoenix, so I can sure
I didn't know they did it so
said
close. So
two
how
more
was the
years.
experience?
The experience was beautiful. We did sunrise. So we had to be out there at 4. Now, when I say Arizona, you talking about hot?
I bet.
Honey, it
I
was
bet.
120 degrees.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
Hot. Ooh. I went out to the pool trying to get in the water. The water was so hot. I had you can't go outside until the sun go down, and it's still hot. But we had to be there for the hot air balloon. We had to be there at 4 a.m, and then they drive you like into the mountains, and then when I say beautiful, it was beautiful. And you up high. You up high. They had like 4 balloons out, and it was maybe about 20 people because you in your own compartment. You in this compartment, that compartment. Amazing.
Where's our footage? Both.
I know.
Let me make it a point to say I have requested multiple times from both of them for them to send footage so I can post it on the Instagram page and show y'all all this stuff that we're doing. So
I suck at making reels and posting.
Just send me the
pictures. If you're
pictures.
with me, then no.
Send me the pictures. I'll make the reels. We gotta get some footage of
because I do got a lot of videos.
Because y'all, everybody's been doing. Even Kim can't sit still to save her life. You know, like I'll be screenshotting stuff off their pages and posting it because they don't send nothing to me like they supposed to.
I was just telling myself I'm gonna do a reel for Alaska and tag it, but I'm like, you know how many times I did Chicago before I did Alaska. I got so much footage from Alaska, and
we want to see it.
By the way,
people want to see it.
Yes.
Not only Alaska but Seattle was
that's
vibe.
nice.
That was shout out to the A Room in Fremont. They had the best vegan coffee I've ever had in my life. I went back to that coffee place 3 times in that same day because it was the best thing I ever had.
So is the vegan aspect is the creamer that they use?
The creamer that they use. It was a peanut butter based coffee. It was a peanut butter based coffee. I never had anything like that in my life. It was the best thing I've ever had.
See, I'm not a big coffee person, but I will say I stumbled across this local coffee shop in Guam, and they had this peanut butter, this chocolate peanut butter smoothie. When I tell you, it was like a Reese cup, like a ice cream. The best thing. I literally was hitting them up like on the daily. Like I'm pretty sure I probably gained a little bit of weight in Guam because it was so boring. It wasn't. I mean, either shopping. I had to tell myself to stay out of them damn stores because I'm like, they don't have a Target, they don't have a Walmart, but they got a goddamn Gucci store and a Louis Vuitton store.
Like, because girls.
Like, come on now. Like, y'all trying to take all the money I'm over here earning. But I'm like, you know, I had to indulge a little bit. I budgeted myself. I ain't go too crazy. But I'm like, man, I'm either eating. Like, it's literally a meme that says, where'd all your money go? Oh, I ate it or I'm wearing it. That's me. That's me in real life. Yeah. Either I ate it or I'm wearing it. Because food and clothes is where my money go.
Yeah.
And traveling.
Yeah. Well, I could say, for my birthday, my 41st, I'm sorry, I had an amazing time. We got upgraded to first class on our plane.
Hey!
Yes. They gave us they upgraded our car. We got an Alfa Romero. One of them cars.
Okay.
Come through with all the upgrade.
I know.
birthday
Because
trip.
you know everything. It's my birthday.
It's
It's a
your
national.
birthday.
it is a national holiday. Mine is as well.
It is a national
But
holiday.
it'll get you some
But,
perks sometimes when you got a cool agent at the cash
Yeah.
register.
And then we had we went to this restaurant called Maple and Ash.
Oh, I love
Now, when
it.
I say they is pricey, what? But amazing service.
Amazing.
You went to Chicago?
No, Arizona. They got a Maple and Ash. So,
Oh,
But
I thought they got
we're
one in
only,
Chicago. I thought you were talking about Chicago still.
Mm-mm.
Scottsdale, or were you in Phoenix?
Scotts. No, Phoenix. We was in Phoenix.
Phoenix.
And then we went to Sedona. It's
Oh,
Beautiful.
I bet that was
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I was out there.
Beautiful.
I got an opportunity to go out there a couple years ago for a wildfire, actually, and I was staying in Scottsdale. I was out there for 2 weeks, and just got to do a lot of sightseeing. It was dope. It was
Beautiful.
hot. It was
I
very
don't
hot.
think I've ever been down there.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
hot.
we went to what is that called? What is that called with all the rocks? We did that, but I don't think I ever got to see that side of Arizona.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
What is all them rocks? You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know
The,
what
like,
you're
the
talking
colorful
about.
The Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I think that's about as far as I went, and that was just a driving trip from Las Vegas. I've
Yeah.
never actually went into Arizona to do anything, but they have that wave there. You know what I'm talking
What's the
about?
wave?
It's in the rocks somewhere. It's like a hiking trail,
Oh
and
yeah, when you go through
and
the,
it looks
the-
it just looks like
colorful rocks.
colorful
Oh,
rocks, and it looks
yeah.
like you're walking on these waves.
I think I've seen
Well, you
it.
have
it's
to do
really
that when
hard.
it's dark because it's hot.
And it's but also it's really hard to do that. They do raffles. They only allow a certain amount of people in the
Yeah.
park, and you gotta get to Arizona and put yourself into this lottery every day to see if you win
Yeah.
to
Oh,
go visit
hell
it
no,
that
that's
day.
too much.
Because we was
And
gonna
that's
do
a
that.
lot of work for me.
Yeah.
Like, what if I only got a week of PTO
Right.
and I don't get it that whole week I'm there? I
Yeah.
just wasted it.
Because we
So,
was
I
gonna
don't
do the flying over the Grand Canyon, but yeah, I don't know about that.
Is it scary? I don't know. I
I
kind
heard
of want to do that.
somebody passed away inside the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, not
Wow.
yeah. That
I
that we went
believe
out there.
it. It's so scary, and the way that people, everything is about an Instagram or
That's it.
the
Yeah,
danger
that's it.
that they put themselves
Just to get
in
that
to
perfect
get that
picture.
perfect picture.
Yeah.
I always get scared walking around
Yeah.
the Grand Canyon and seeing people taking their pictures. So I can see how that can be a lot of deaths in that area.
Yeah, I ain't messing around. I'm cool.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
And the wind up there, it's not weak. The wind, you're in this super massive hollow area, and the
Yeah,
wind is just
absolutely.
whipping.
And they do
one
plane
little
rides
push.
over the Grand Canyon.
Really?
So it's just scary. It's actually a pretty scary place.
Yeah,
I haven't taken
I'll
my
just
son.
look at the pictures. I've never gone.
It's breathtaking.
and
It's nice,
the-
but
beautiful.
I wouldn't take kids there.
I
Yeah.
said the last time I went to Vegas, I was like, maybe I should go because we went out there in May, and the weather. I was considering I'm like the weather is good. We went for that Lovers and Friends concert.
Yeah,
And
that.
Let me just say, this is not 25-year-old Shannon. I was like, what am I doing now? Granted,
It wasn't 25-year-old artists anymore.
man,
What I
right?
heard.
Yeah, because Genuine definitely took a nice spill off that stage. I was like, damn, is he alright? But it was just so I went back in 2019 when it was called A Day in Vegas, and it was the summer concert festival, but it was over 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
This one this year was Usher's Lovers and Friends, and it was all 1 day.
Mm.
So it's 12 hours, and there's hardly anywhere to sit down,
Uh-huh.
and there's 4 different stages and people performing throughout the whole day. So you're literally going from this end to this end to this end to this end,
Oh,
trying
wow.
to catch who you want to see. And I mean, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
By the time we got back to the hotel, I was like, I don't think I could do it again. I really enjoyed it, but I'm like, just being outside
Under
for
that
12
heat all
hours.
day.
and just walking around, and I'm like, I try to wear the most comfortable clothing. So I'm like, okay, I got my Dunks on, those are comfortable. I got biker shorts and a t-shirt, just trying to, I'm like, I brought the hoodie in case it get cold at night. I was really just trying to be proactive, not have anything like too restraining or hot. But man, just being outdoors like that for 12 hours, it was just it was definitely a lot. It was nice. A nice experience, but definitely a lot. And I realized, like, look, I am not no young
spring chicken.
Like, these are some 40-year-old bones. Like, man, like, girl.
I'm serious.
These bones are 40. I need to sit down.
I need a chair.
I need a chair now.
Auntie need a chair. Like,
I'm trying to tell you, I be going on vacation. I be want to sleep. I be like,
oh, I'm gonna take me a nap. I let it be known. Anybody, look, listen. I'm taking me a nap. I paid to be here just like you paid to be here. And damn it, if I want to take a nap, I'm taking a nap. Whatever you want to do in the interim, you do your thing. That's why me and my friend Brittany, we travel so well together because we just know, like Brittany know I'll be in the room and I'll be like, I'm about to take a nap. She'll go grab her book. She like, okay, I'm about to go read my book poolside or something like that. Nice. And it nobody feels any type of way about it, you know, because we both paid our money to be here, and what I want to do for these 2 hours and what you want to do for these 2 hours may differ. We'll see you later. We got dinner reservations at 6. It's all good.
That's
so
that's how I met my friend Dre is. She would know. I remember we went on a 7-day cruise. I'm like, oh, it's my first time going on a cruise. Yeah, we about to turn up. We ain't sleeping. Girl, bye. We slept the whole day.
Not the whole day.
Yeah.
The whole day.
She the one with the travel agency too, right? Okay, we're gonna have to have her on special guest.
Yeah, she would love it too.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, she definitely would love it. But yeah, we be like, yeah, we gonna turn up.
Honestly, the word turn up is not even in my vocabulary because I don't do no turning up the up. I'm more the turning down.
Oh no, I'm
like
turning up.
I'm not. Yeah,
I want to dance. I want to go drink.
Now I'm gonna really.
But it also depends on who I'm with.
I'm gonna give it my best effort for Mardi Gras because I'm like this, it's first time.
Oh yeah, you want to go to Mardi Gras? And you don't even drink. What are you gonna do?
I'm going for the food. What you mean? I'm gonna eat.
Where?
I want the food.
Fair.
Give me the etouffee. Give me the beignet. Give me the rice and beans.
And the bourbon.
Yeah, no, you can have the bourbon. I mean, I will have a drink, but I'm not a drinker. Like, I'm not the person to do like shots.
I want to be drunk.
Like,
I am that person. I just feel like I'm just more fun. Otherwise, I just like
drunk?
No, yeah, because to me, like otherwise, I like to be by myself.
You fun sober though,
but I like to be by myself. So when I'm drinking, I'm more social. I feel like I'm more of a social person when I'm drinking. Okay. If I'm not drinking, I don't want to be around people. I like to be alone. I like quiet time.
But see, that's the thing. I can have a good time completely sober.
Me too. I just like to do it alone.
Like 90% of the time, I'm really sober. Like I really, sure. I might have a shot here and there just so I could just shut my friends up because they just take it just to shut them up. But for real, I'll really be sober. I be kicking it and be living my best life sober.
Yeah. Girl, no, I am the girl. I'm literally the girl who will be at the restaurant with a whole bunch of people on my phone reading a book. I'm that person. I'm that person. But once I get to drinking, I'm talking to everybody and shit like that.
Okay, so we make sure, note to self, we gotta keep her drunk.
Yeah. Not drunk, just like
we'll just
drink it.
I'll just give
I'm
you
like
my
half and half. I'm more
because I do, and it's sad. My wife be getting so mad because we'll be in the middle of a barbecue or a party, and I just be on my phone reading my book.
See, I'm half and half. I'm half and half. So I'm telling you, everybody want to kick it with me.
Okay, baby.
She don't live in the party.
But I really don't. I be like, I want to
this
sit
girl be
there and just not do
She be
nothing.
outside. She be
yeah, because the last time you said you don't go nowhere, you always somewhere.
She
don't
about
nowhere.
She don't be wanting to go nowhere. But why she texted me last night like, what you doing? She was trying to go some damn way.
I was just saying, was she out?
No, so she can come out.
I was just saying when she was out. Then as soon as I hung up, my man called. He like, oh, you ain't gotta tell me twice.
Right, it's amazing how we get that burst of energy when we get that call from that certain person.
I'm trying to
Because
see
man, I will be in the bed with that bonnet on, watching something on Discovery ID, some murder serial killer documentary. Because I love serial killer documentaries. Don't judge me. I don't know why I'm fascinated with serial killers.
I was trying to be in the
And but if he called me or text, I just be like, you know what? Let me pause this. I'll resume this show later. But
Yeah.
anybody else, like, he probably the only person that can get me to move. Anybody else, I'd be
That's
like,
how I
man,
am too. Not
I'll
my
see
kids.
y'all. Yeah. Well, I don't have any of those offspring.
Not
I don't have any.
I'm not worried about that. But
Mom,
yeah.
let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He go.
I wish my son don't leave. I be trying to get him to leave. He be like, nah, just leave me here.
And don't let me
Yeah.
have, if I did my nightly skin treatment, I
Oh,
was
it's over with.
But see, that's the thing, cause see, I'll go over his house with my eye cream on, and he be like,
Okay,
"Why
girl.
you got that shit on your face?"
Real
He's
confident.
what, why?
Why did you
Real
come
body.
over here like that?
Why for it? But I'll wear my bonnet. That's where you be comfortable. You ain't got to do all that extra stuff. But if it's some friends, I'd be like, look, I'm gonna have to catch y'all. I didn't
Yeah.
get my skin treatment. I got my bonnet on. It's time. It's time for
It's
bed.
over.
It's
It's
over
It's
with.
too funny.
It's too much. I'll just call me tomorrow.
Right, because it's not like I can go out like that. I could at least go over his house like that. I ain't got to change, man. I ain't got to get dressed or nothing. It's just like, just go, come as you are.
I know. He be like, what do you got on? I'm only coming over here to go sleep. So
After some extracurricular activities.
girl, that'd be all the way off back then. Oh,
Y'all are
okay.
so fun.
Man, I missed y'all though.
Yeah, I
You
know
too.
we've been
I
so
was
busy
like,
lately.
yeah,
I know,
we have.
vacation.
We've been kicking it.
Mhm.
What y'all got? Y'all got anything coming up? I know I got Beyonce Wednesday.
I don't have anything planned.
No, I just
Until-
have,
November,
oh, where you going in November?
Jamaica.
Oh yeah, that's right, because I want to go. I have my mom's birthday in September because I'm taking her to Puerto Rico. And then
okay, that's
I'm
what's up.
probably going to Mexico for my birthday. I go to Mexico all the time. I love Mexico though. I love Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's my fit Shannon be
I mean, no.
telling people, she be trying to tell people, don't go. Don't go. And I get it.
Mexico's a little
But
dangerous.
I feel like Mexico is not dangerous. Don't put that
Just
out in
go
the air.
as a
I feel
law-abiding
like
citizen.
people who are crossing these borders in
Yeah.
their cars to pick up drugs
To
and
do-
blame it on other things, like
Right.
then it might be unsafe. You shouldn't be crossing those borders. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be messing with the Mexicans. You shouldn't be in any of the areas the cartels are in. I feel
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Cancun to me is like going to Miami. So
Yeah.
to me, it's just I love it. there.
I'm not against it.
love
I want to
there.
go to Puerto Vallarta. I want to go there. I've heard it's real nice, real chill.
They got some nice. They got a lot of nice places in Mexico. People just
Yeah. I'm not crossing Mexico off the list. Now, where I probably, we already know I'm not going back to Guam, but that was for work purposes anyway. But I wasn't a big fan of Punta Cana. I can't see going back there. It's nothing that would intrigue me.
Joe doesn't like
to-
it either, but I feel like I need to give it another chance. I've only been there once, and I didn't leave the resort a lot. Like we
Mhm.
had to stay. I think like the very last day is when we asked someone to take us somewhere. So I just feel like I need to give it one more chance.
Mhm.
I need to get out there in the cities
I don't think it's worth it.
than to go out to the touristy areas.
I think it's so many other like those places to go. Like it would be like at the bottom of my list. There's so many other places I want to hit. But Jamaica, I will continue to. I love
I
Jamaica.
still
Jamaica's
haven't
a vibe, and I would go in November if I didn't have
Your trip.
my trip and the party. So and then we're going to Brooklyn for his birthday in
Oh,
October.
that's I love
So it's like yes.
It's a lot. It's so much.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at this point, I ain't booking nothing else for this year. Like,
Yeah.
I know. I keep saying I want to
2024.
I spent so much money traveling this year that I just said like
But
I
it was
don't
worth it,
want to
though.
go nowhere next year. I don't even want to go anywhere for my birthday this year. Like I keep telling my wife like let's just I want to buy a new fence for my house. I want to replace my fence in my house, and I keep telling her like I really don't want to go nowhere. But I don't know. I think she thinks I'm playing. Like
Yeah.
I want because I
Oh,
go
yeah.
somewhere
Yeah,
all the
that's
time.
right,
Like,
right.
but I genuinely I'm burnt out. I don't want to go nowhere. I'm going to
Yeah.
Puerto Rico like a week before my birthday.
Mm.
So you know what I mean? I really don't, and I don't want to spend money on vacations back to back. And but she wants to take me, so
Oh, that's cool.
it's.
So
I
next,
really
you're gonna be
don't
40
want-
next year
Yeah,
So
and
that's
next
like-
year
that's
that's
for
the
the
only
retreat.
trip I'm taking.
That's-
Is the retreat.
to Bali.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm leaving for. I plan on spending 3 weeks in Bali.
Okay.
Ooh, wait.
I plan on spending just me, but I plan on like the retreat is only 6 days. I plan on
Okay.
keeping on going
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
because
okay.
that's just what I want to do.
So that would be dope. Thailand in June and then Bali in
Thailand is
September.
wrong. Thailand is one of my favorite places
Yeah.
in the world.
We're
It's
going there June
amazing.
15th. I think June 15th to something.
I can't wait to get on that elephant.
Yeah.
That's all I've been thinking about. And eating some
Thailand
good
is
food.
It's just my thing is just
Thailand is more like
Anyway.
plant-based
Yeah.
food.
That, yeah, that's.
just.
But I feel
Mm.
like
It's worth it. Just pop a couple download a couple Harry Potter movies, and you're there in like 3.
I feel like now that I've gotten that Guam travel under my belt, I'm built for it. Even though I was knocked out most of the time, I sleep very well on the
Yeah.
plane, so that's what's up.
You're
Yeah.
gonna go from like Cleveland to LA, around somewhere on the West Coast,
Mhm.
and from there, like when I went to Thailand, we went from Cleveland to LA, from LA to China, and then we like spent a couple days in China instead of just kept going, and then from China to
Okay.
Mm.
Baby, we gotta get that deposit paid.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm finishing up this trip now
Okay.
for Jamaica.
Okay.
Thailand.
Yeah. So,
Thailand's
yeah.
a beautiful place. Where in Thailand y'all going? Y'all going to the islands or the mainland?
I don't know. I gotta look into it. She just be
I
sending
think
me
they're
stuff.
both
I'm
wrong.
like, okay.
I think they're both for all the islands like Phuket and those are the places
I know we're going
there,
to
and then
Phuket.
Bangkok is
Okay.
on the mainland.
Bangkok.
Bangkok is
Oh my
wrong.
god, I'm just like.
But to
man,
get
that's
from
gonna
a
be
flight
good
from
food.
Bangkok to Phuket was only like $13 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know my Uber driver that took me to the airport when I went for Guam. He was telling me like once you get like out of the country and you
It's
start
cheap.
traveling like country to country, the flights is
super
dirt
cheap.
cheap. He was like it's really just getting
America.
out the states.
It's
Yeah,
America.
because he's from Morocco and he was telling me like I could. He was like it would be nice. You could come here. You can go to all these visit all these different countries. He's like you could probably see 8 countries in like 2 weeks. So I was thinking
For
like
sure.
that'd be. I'm thinking maybe because I might not take a trip next year for my birthday, especially if I go to Bali with you and go to Thailand. So I'm thinking like maybe I could do that like early spring, then your trip that summer, fall, and then I'll probably just sit it out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's getting crazy how many. It's just the world is so big.
Yeah.
But it is super cheap. We had 12 kids traveling for a month through Italy, and
Mhm.
they went from just country to country to country to country, and it was so inexpensive. Whether they caught the train into the next country or the flights, like a
That's
flight
dope.
costs less than the train. It was just so inexpensive, like $21 for a flight from Ireland to Germany or Ireland to Amsterdam. It was just
Right.
it was really cool. It was
Yeah.
really cool to see how far your money can go when you're outside of the U.S.
I don't think I could do a month. I think I would probably be homesick, but
Yeah.
I think a 2 weeks. I could do a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying it. I actually don't like longer trips. But like when I went on my honeymoon, it was like almost 2 days worth of traveling just for a week of being there,
Mm.
and I dreaded traveling back.
Back,
Like
yeah.
sometimes that's why for Bali, it's the only trip I'm taking next year, and it's
Okay.
like I don't want to travel for 2 days and just be there for 5
Right.
and
Yeah.
come back home.
Right.
So I plan on traveling to different islands in Indonesia. Like I'll do the retreat in Bali and then go to a different one, so that I feel like I'm going somewhere else,
Somewhere.
but not rushing home.
Yeah.
Because I just can't do it anymore. I'm like, if I do one of these long ass trips, I ain't got much more of them left in me. I'm gonna have to stay here a while.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
I mean,
long as hell.
honestly, being on that island for a month, I was kind of like, I was kind of wishing that
It was boring though. The island.
it was boring. So I'm like, maybe by December I'll be ready for tropical climates again.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, damn, like if I hadn't had my birthday trip already booked, I would be thinking about it, seriously
Yeah.
considering a non-island vacation after being there for a month. I'm
Them
like,
I can't say them. I took my son to Alaska and is so dope. It's so
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It's
Iceland
so-
was dope. I mean,
It's so different, like seeing the wild animals and like the different climate, how people live, the fresh seafood. Like it was insane. It was a whole different
I'm gonna have to get over
type
there.
of experience. The
Check Alaska out.
views,
Yeah.
the views were like
They have Alaskan cruises.
crazy.
Yeah, no.
So that
It
would
was
be
just
that's
so
something
crazy.
to look into. I met this girl when I was working out with my trainer. She's actually going to Kenya for her
Nice.
birthday next month.
Mm.
And
Nice.
because we were talking about going to different places that people don't normally travel to. So I'm like, that's dope.
Kenya's a great one. I heard the hospitality and then they welcome the tourists because people look at Africa and they feel like everywhere is war torn or
Mhm.
everywhere is unsafe, and it's not. There's so
Right.
many of those little
Oh,
countries
absolutely.
that are welcoming. That
Right.
you know what I mean, and a lot of people don't even give them a chance.
That's
so
why
it's
people have to-
always
it's
super exciting.
Educating themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
you like what do they show you on social media? Like the Middle East looks like a desert that's always blown up. You would never even know that they got lush forests and greenery,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
no one knows that because they portray it as the
Right.
fucking desert.
Mm.
And that was kind of honestly, that was kind of the one of the goals that I really had, like honestly, for Fly Girl Committee for the podcast is to kind of help educate people on a lot of things that they may not know. Like, yeah, we're not experts, but we are experienced, so
Mhm.
we can shed some light on some of that stuff. Because if you're only basing your travel experience off of the limited amount of people that you follow on social media, all you're pretty much gonna see is you're gonna keep saying Miami, you're gonna keep saying Houston, you're gonna
Atlanta.
keep saying Vegas, you're gonna keep saying Atlanta. So it's like you're not seeing people going to
These
Bali.
places that you think are
you're
unsafe.
not seeing people going to Thailand. You're not seeing people going to Iceland. You're not seeing this on a regular basis. So you're like, okay, this is what I'm limited to. Jamaica, like, man, I love Jamaica. Don't get me wrong. I will continue to travel there probably for the rest of my life, but it's so many
Many
other
other
dope
places.
places.
Or
Yeah.
Miami. Let me tell y'all about Miami. I can go to Thailand 3 times with the money I would spend in a week in
Yeah.
Miami.
It ain't nothing to do with Miami.
Honestly,
It's so expensive.
for
It's
me,
so
if it's not a
expensive.
layover, there's no reason for me to be in Miami. That's how
I
feel.
do try to go like I think I go like once every 5 or 6 years because Miami there's nothing like South Beach, but it is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Like
Yeah.
so I just try to go every sporadically. I always have the worst time in Miami, but I still keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nothing
So-
to do in Miami. You just walking up and down the strip. That's it.
Just the amount of money that you spend
You
in
spend.
it's
Find
overrated.
a hotel.
But social media, people see it. They, a lot of
It's the
people,
party vibe,
it's
but they're
the-
not
the-
telling you
yeah.
it's $50 a damn drink.
it's the lack of not knowing, because you can travel out the country for what you would spend,
On a weekend in
yeah,
Miami.
you really
Because
can.
the flights might be $20, but a cocktail's gonna cost you $50.
Right.
A flight to Dubai, or not Dubai, Dubai is expensive. A flight to Phuket might cost you a lot of money, but you can get a beer for 50 cents.
Yeah,
It's
right.
how
So
you
And then
look
when
at
you
it.
consider Miami, if you're trying to stay at one of these nice South Beach
Instagrammable
hotels,
places.
yeah, you're gonna pay, and it's nothing. You're not getting
And they're
anything
still gonna sell
included.
dope right on the front.
Like-
Right on the front, right of South
You
Beach.
right.
So yeah,
Just do the research
Yeah.
and ask people. Ask people. Stop it.
contact Joanna if you have travel questions
Yes.
So yeah.
and ready to book a trip. Don't waste my girl time. It take a lot of work to search for flights and hotels. So be serious.
My time don't get wasted. I charge a fee, so whether
Oh
you go
well,
or not.
hey, then there you
I
go.
know that's right.
Hey,
but I'm gonna help
what's
you
up.
out. I'm gonna make it the best trip ever.
But yeah, her expertise come with a fee.
Period.
Period. Well, thanks for listening to us.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys soon.
See you next month.
Right. Peace.
Bye.